Coming up on AgweekTV, a South Dakota ranch isn't serving up hamburger, but yak. North Dakota is not one of the 8 Midwestern states that will be able to sell E15 year-round in 2025.
New USDA data shows growing soybean production trends in North Dakota.
And the USDA honors a South Dakota State University professor. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. The EPA has granted the request of 8 Midwestern governors to allow the year-round sale of E15 starting in 2025. However, North Dakota is not one of them. North Dakota was originally a part of the initial request group, but Governor Doug Burgum withdrew in October of 2022. In a letter at the time to the EPA Administrator Michael Regan, Burgum said while he supports corn growers, he also has concerns for North Dakota's oil producers and retailers. Minnesota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Wisconsin are among the 8 states that will be able to offer E15 at the pump for drivers year-round starting in 2025. Being able to sell E15 year-round in 2025 would have made a big impact on not only the state's ethanol industry, but the state's ag industry as a whole.
Oh, it'd be huge. I mean, it would be, much more ethanol usage, the environmental benefits as well, but just to the economics of the ethanol industry in North Dakota is tremendous.
According to Elmer, E15 ethanol is cleared to be used in any of the light-duty vehicles that were made in 2001 or newer. She also says drivers can save up to $1 a gallon depending on the level of ethanol that the driver chooses to put into their vehicle, and has up to 40% less greenhouse gas emissions. A Volga, South Dakota rancher is raising an uncommon species, yaks. In this week's AgWeek cover story, Ariana Schumacher takes you to the Pink Flamingo Yak Ranch to learn more about their animals.
This isn't an ordinary hamburger, it's a yak burger.
Because we like to keep things unique and diverse and try to switch it up a little bit.
The Safari Bar and Grill in Renner, South Dakota works with yak producer Dave Tweet to bring locally sourced yak dinners to their hungry customers.
It's kind of like elk. Some people describe it as a sweet beef. The meat is very red and there's not much fat in it.
Tweet got into the yak business around 15 years ago after his neighbor introduced him to exotic animal auctions. Now he has around 75 yaks on his ranch in Volga. They're
very unique. They're a hardy animal. Just characteristics of them. And they're, I was learning as I went along, so that was part of it also.
Yaks share many characteristics with other livestock you would typically see in South Dakota.
One would be a cow or beef, and one would be a horse. When they run, their tail stands up in the air, and they kind of gallop, And then the other thing is they're kind of like a ewe protecting a lamb. They're kind of standoffish, and they're kind of a defensive animal.
The animals are not very common in the state.
It's somewhat rare, There's a few people here and there that do it.
Their diet needs are easy to fulfill.
They don't need a high-protein diet, and they're copper deficient, so if you have a ration, you want to try to look for something with copper in it.
And they produce a nutritious meat product that Tweet is excited to share with customers.
And it has omega-6. It's similar to a buffalo as far as the heart healthy aspect. There's not much fat, and it's very lean meat.
A lot of people, though, if you explain to them what it is and how it tastes and everything, they try it, and then the next time they come back and they have it again, or they recommend it to other people that come in. So, I was leery about trying it, but I kind of fell in love with it.
You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Woody species can be a threat to grasslands across the Midwest. It has been an issue impacting South Dakota producers for 30 years. Woody encroachment affects livestock producers, wildlife, and soil health. It impacts the entire state, specifically around rivers.
It can be very localized depending on the species that we're looking at. The biggest impact we've seen is along the rivers, so the Missouri River, the James River, the Belle Fourche, and the Cheyenne River all seem to have quite a lot of woody encroachment occurring. The most dense stands of woody encroachment, I'd say, are occurring in the south central part of the state.
Royer said the best way to tell if you have a woody encroachment issue occurring is to look back on your pastures and see what they looked like in past years. There are online platforms that can help with this, including Landscape Explorer and the Rangeland Analysis platform.
Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll see what's fueling soybean production growth in North Dakota.
Built in North Dakota and delivered across the Midwest, every Pinky home is a custom home, designed for your family, built by ours. And with our on-site lumberyard and generations of experience, we can help build the home of your dreams without breaking your budget. Build something that lasts. Build with Pinky Homes. Get to know us and see all of your customization options at pinkyhomes.com.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything shoreline. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Looking to add non-GMO conventional and organic soybeans to your rotation this year? Soyco International out of Gary, Minnesota is looking for new farmer contracts for the 2023 season. They have proven marketing strategies, partnered with local agronomy expertise to work alongside and provide the certified seeds needed for their contract growers. Soyco International is offering premium prices to boost your operations' bottom line. Reach out to Sean Young today at 218-350-3863 to answer any questions.
Farming is more than a career. It's a lifestyle, a calling, and a badge of honor. That's why it's important to have a banking partner who doesn't just understand the farming industry, they understand your farm. At Bremer Bank, we've spent more than 80 years working side by side with farmers like you to help you invest in and grow your operation. Season after season, from one generation to the next.
AgweekTV Soy Insight, brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Council.
Newly released data continues to show soybean production has increased significantly in North Dakota over the past 40 years. In this month's Soy Insight, Rose Dunn looks at what's driving that growth and what it means to growers and the state.
North Dakota is very traditionally in the top 5 in terms of acreage of soybeans.
The new soybean quality report shows the state currently ranks number 4 in national soybean acreage, with 3 Red River Valley counties topping the list of growers in the nation. Jenna Biertness is the North Dakota Soybean Council's Director of Market Development. It's her job to promote the state's crop to buyers around the world. For the 4th year in a row, soybeans are the state's highest dollar value crop, bringing in $2.7 billion in 2023.
We've actually seen a 60 times increase in production from 1980 to now, over 60 times. And so it's really this Cinderella story of, soybeans are a relatively new crop over time in North Dakota, and they've just boomed to where we are year after year a soybean leader in the U.S.
Part of that increase is due to new varieties that grow well in this climate, and part of it is meeting growing demand. North Dakota soybeans have traditionally been exported for livestock feed, but in the future, the majority of the crop will likely be used for making renewable diesel. That's fueled in large part by a new crush plant near Jamestown and another one at Castleton going online soon.
So I think we're only going to see that demand increase in North Dakota if we start to see these crush plants come online and be used more within state.
Although most soybeans are crushed for oil to be made into renewable diesel, the byproduct meal is sold for livestock feed. North Dakota soybeans are also high in essential amino acids, which is good for livestock. Bjertnæs says demand for soybeans will stay strong as long as demand for their oil remains high.
The shift from meal to oil is not just happening in North Dakota, it's happening all over the U.S., and it's being driven by a combination of federal and state policies in addition to just consumer demand.
In Fargo, this is Rose Dunn for AgWeek.
If you'd like to see the data in the soybean quality report, you can find it at ndsoybean.org under production and exports. Producers are always looking for ways to increase yields and efficiency. Events like Soy 100 are designed to help growers learn and share information. South Dakota soybean producers heard from experts in the industry and learned about new research. The title of the event refers to what farmers can do to grow 100 bushel soybeans. They learned about topics like markets, weed resistance, soil health, and water management.
Farmers are learning all the time, and we like to share the information. They like to share with one another, but if we can put that material together, and for the yield contest, we have over 15 years of yield data, and along with that, the practices that the farmers used to achieve that information.
Keynote speaker Naomi Bloom is a senior market advisor at Total Farm Marketing. She talked about what is happening in soybean markets and why.
Is the USDA going to change any demand aspects? Are they going to lower the production side for the Brazil soybean crop? What kind of new demand factors are we going to have for soybeans going into the rest of 2024 and beyond? And just trying to keep a realistic balance of price outlook, pricing opportunities, and what might be coming ahead for producers and how they can capitalize on those pricing opportunities when they arrive.
Bloom says the best soybean prices are between Mother's Day and Father's Day, and she encourages producers to make cash sales on old and new crops this summer. Ahead on AgweekTV, we'll learn about a nano-liquid technology.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
Do you have nutrient deficiency issues? We can help. Let's talk.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
Spray Advantage is a full-line, full-service dealer with everything you need for fertilizer and chemical applications, like electronics from Microtrack and Raven, pumps by Banjo and John Blue, a full line of poly parts, tanks, and spray tips. We support the equipment we sell with factory-trained service technicians and a well-stocked parts department. It's our commitment to offer you quality products at competitive prices with the best financing options available. Spray Advantage, proudly serving North Dakota and Minnesota.
A farmer's work is never done. You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop. You're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota Ag Bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
You got salty soils? We can help. Let's talk. AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Will March come in like a lion and out like a lamb? Here's John with our AccuWeather Outlook.
March weather rolls along, and as we all know, March weather in the Great Plains and Upper Midwest does have a strong tendency to be highly changeable, very volatile, and that's exactly what it's doing. This time we're headed back into colder weather, especially across the northern parts of the region. And as the weather turns colder, it does bring up the distinct possibility that precipitation in March falls as snow instead of rain. I'll show you where that's most likely. We are dealing with an upper level ridge over the western North America, and then a fairly deep trough. Now, this looks impressive, but actually this air is not all that terribly cold for the season. It's colder than it's been over much of the latter part of February and the early part of March, but it's just not that cold. The northern branch of the jet stream is not terribly strong right now. The subtropical jet, in classic El Nino fashion, is much stronger right now. It does look like we get a little bit of a modest break from the cold through the early part of the week as the flow briefly goes zonal, but a new trough forming out in the northern Canadian Rockies will likely reinforce the cold air, at least into the Dakotas and Minnesota, especially North Dakota and Minnesota, back into Montana as we go through this week. Now, meanwhile, down south, a bit of a lull in stormy weather, and it looks like pretty warm temperatures. A lot of 70s and 80 degree type weather will build up through the south this week, which will be kind of a pleasant turn for them as the southern states have had a fairly cold winter this year. No real hot weather, some 80 degree heat down in South Florida, South Texas, and the usual spots in the southwestern part of the country. As we transition from this first week into the last week of March and the second week of the forecast, we get to see the dreaded split flow pattern out of the northern jet stream. Now, there will be an area of low pressure in here and a weather system, but the split flow nature of the jet stream would probably mean this will not end up being a major storm. Still, when I show you precipitation in just a minute, you'll see what's happening from that. As we go on through the week toward late March, tendency is going to be there toward the flow going more west to east or more zonal, and the temperatures turning a little bit chillier. Now, as far as precipitation this week, a lot of it in the south is going to be in the form of rain and showers and thunderstorms. There will be some areas of rain showers coming up into the Middle West and the Great Plains and the Northern Plains, and that will likely transition over to snow in the far north from a weather system coming up sometime around the end of the week. Now, exactly how this lays down is indeterminate from my perspective at this point. Probably not super heavy precipitation in the northern plains. Second week, same thing. Most of the significant moisture will be down south with lighter snows north.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
Spray Advantage is a full-line, full-service dealer with everything you need for fertilizer and chemical applications, like electronics from Microtrack and Raven, pumps by Banjo and John Blue, a full line of poly parts, tanks, and spray tips. We support the equipment we sell with factory-trained service technicians and a well-stocked parts department. It's our commitment to offer you quality products at competitive prices with the best financing options available. Spray Advantage, proudly serving North Dakota and Minnesota.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
A farmer's work is never done.
You're not just planting a seed or harvesting a crop, you're growing a legacy. When you're up before dawn and out long past dusk, you need a banker who will work with your schedule, not the other way around. At Choice, we do banking differently, giving farmers like you time back to focus on what really matters. Choice Bank, top North Dakota Ag Bank for 10 years running, and always people first.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Welcome back to AgweekTV. Joining me now is Severin Anderson. Severin, you farm near Drayton, North Dakota. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about your operation.
Yep, so I'm a 5th generation farmer up there. I farm with my mother and father, and we've been working with Jim and Darcy at ECO for about 4 years now.
So you use a nano liquid technology on your acres called Aquayield. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we get a lot of questions about what the nano actually means. Nano is a measurement for scale. The blade of grass is considered to be 1 million nanometers wide, and the nanoparticles they've come up with are as small as 10 nanometers wide. It's a hollow silica particle they've engineered that's able to carry not only their nutrients, but also carry any chemical or herbicide that's added into it. Most products get into the plant through either diffusion or absorption, which takes time, which takes water, and the nanoparticles get in through endocytosis, which is quicker, you're able to carry more chemical in faster, and that's really been the thing that set this apart from anything else we've used in the past.
When you go to apply Aquayield on your crops, how do you apply it?
Pretty much every different way. We've applied it in the spring, along with our pre-programs. We've applied it as foliar during the season, and we've applied it in the fall post-product. But the Nano CS, which is a new product we love, is mixing with our starter and the sugar beets. The Nano Pro is we use with Roundup during the season to help the Roundup work better, faster, quicker, getting into the weeds quicker, killing them faster. The Nano K is showing amazing results with the sugar beets getting a higher sugar content. For 3 years in a row now, we've had way higher sugar than in the fields we haven't used it. And the Nano Pack is a nutrient product that we use in soybeans.
After you go ahead and apply Aquayield onto your crops, is it something that works throughout the growing season?
Yeah, the nanotechnology is able to get into the plant quicker and faster, so we apply it a couple of different times throughout the year, depending on which crop it is. It's used, like I say, in spring. We use it in furrow with the sugar beets now, actually. We apply some of it, like I say, as a foliar late season in the sugar beet harvest. We apply it as a foliar and as in furrow with the beans, too, so it can be used spring, fall, late fall. We've used it all the seasons.
Why is this a product you continue to use?
And we've tried a lot of different products from a lot of companies over the years, some with mild success, some with no success, and kind of all over the board. But in the 4 years we've worked with ECO, we've had such benefits from the different stuff we've done with them that they've worked as ease of use on the farm, and they've been fun to work with. They're so helpful, and at the end of the day, it's got to make money, and it's done that for us.
You guys have an event coming up later this summer. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so for a couple of years now, we've held a crop tour in conjunction with ECO, usually in late July when the crops are about at midsummer point. And we look at the wheat crop, we look at the sugar beet crop, we look at soybean crop, we look at the soils, we look at the different chemicals we've used. And usually it'll be out at our farm in late July, and we're excited to have you guys come and join us this year as well.
Well, I know I'm excited to see how the product works on the crops. Thank you so much for joining us today, Severin.
Thank you, Emily.
Severin Anderson. Up next on AgweekTV, a South Dakota professor receives the USDA's highest award.
Dream of owning North Dakota farmland? People's Company and RE/MAX Now offer over 2,000 acres in Williams County through an online-only auction, March 18th through 21st. Featuring cropland and pastureland in tracts from 40 to 240 acres, located in Mont, Bone Trail, and Cow Creek. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime chance. Register and bid online at peoplescompany.com. That's peoplescompany.com. Your legacy starts here.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
Farming is more than a career. It's a lifestyle, a calling, and a badge of honor. That's why it's important to have a banking partner who doesn't just understand the farming industry, they understand your farm. At Bremer Bank, we've spent more than 80 years working side by side with farmers like you to help you invest in and grow your operation. Season after season, from one generation to the next.
The simplicity, I mean, it's a complicated planner, but it's also simple. That row meter is just very simple and it just seems to work. I like that just having that tube delivering the seed with an airstream and not having to have extra belts on it or extra electric motors and stuff. A lot of this machinery seems like it's almost getting overly complicated. The simpler that it can work, but do what it's supposed to do, I think this machine can definitely do that.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
An animal science professor at South Dakota State University has won the USDA's highest award. Dr. Michael Gonda received the Ag Department's National Award for Teaching Excellence. He has taught at SDSU for 16 years, primarily in livestock breeding and genetics. He is also an academic advisor. Gonda says his favorite part about teaching is the students, so he says the award is really about them and his colleagues.
This doesn't happen without the support, the strong support of South Dakota State University, its administration, its faculty, my colleagues, the students who I work with on a day-to-day basis. I learn so much from all of those people.
Dr. Gonda's colleagues say his teachings make a tremendous impact on his students.
He brings excitement, enthusiasm to the classroom. He's able to cover a relatively dense and sometimes difficult subject, but really make it enjoyable for the students and creates just a wonderful learning environment.
Gonda has received several other prestigious teaching awards, including the Edward Patrick Hogan Award for Excellence in Teaching in 2022. He is also chair of the Animal Science Student Activities and Recognition Committee. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Minnesota researchers are working on new technologies in water testing, and the organic industry looks at regenerative techniques. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.